I'm going to show you how to do the pin press. The pin press is a useful exercise for somebody who has decided to specialize in the press, or if you've rightfully decided that the bench press is going to be an assistance exercise for your overhead press. You can start adding in pin pressing as a variation on the press, as a way to overload the top of the press, or to work through some issues with the lockout. So Bree is going to demonstrate how to do the pin press as I explain it to her. So let's talk about how to set this up. The pin press can be done from a lot of different levels as far as where you're going to set the pins. To start out, if it's the first time doing it, maybe at about eyebrow level or maybe forehead level, or you can alternate between those two depending on what your program looks like. So I'm going to have Bree do this from about eyebrow level. So we've set the pins in the squat rack or in the power rack so that the bar sits right on top and that the bar is at the eyebrows. If you're between holes slightly, you can widen your stance and that'll make you a little bit shorter. It's not so important. So we've got the pins set at the right height. We've got the bar set correctly. Now the thing to remember here is that the bar needs to be over the middle of your foot. So you're used to pressing with the bar in front of you when you start the press. With the pin press, the bar is a little bit higher, so your body has already moved. If you think of it in terms of a normal press, your body has already started to move as the bar is going up. So it's going to feel a little bit weird to get set up correctly with this because you're going to be under the bar rather than behind the bar. Whatever width grip you use for the press is the same you're going to use for the pin press. You're going to put the bar directly over the middle of the foot. It's going to feel like you're under the bar rather than behind the bar like you normally are. So get a little bit closer to the bar. To start the pin press, you're going to go ahead and preload your hips. And what I mean by that is you're going to squeeze your abs and squeeze your quads and then push your hips forward. Push your hips forward like you've already started the layback at the beginning of the press. The idea when you actually start the pin press is going to be to shrug the bar off the pins. If you try to push the bar, this is a subtle distinction here. If you try to push the bar, you will tend to push it forward and miss the rep. So you want to think about getting it straight to the lockout by shrugging it off the pins. Eyes forward, big breath, squeeze, and lock it out. Good. You'll lock the press out just like you normally would, and then set it back down on the pins. If the bar has moved, shifted, if it's in a different position, just roll it or move your feet to get it back in the right spot, and then do the next rep. Big breath, go. Good. Lock it out a little faster. Good. Elbows tucked just a little bit. Get a good grip. Good. One more. Awesome. Okay. Bar over midfoot. Big giant breath, elbows forward. Good. She's rolling it back to the midfoot. Big breath. Squeeze, go. Good. Now Bree is going to demonstrate the pin press from the forehead position. Her hips are going to be forward, and all she's going to think about is getting under the bar and shrugging it up to the lockout. Eyes forward, big breath, fast, go. Good.